When you look back at your life, wouldn't you rather your life be one of significance, even more than success? I'm Dr. Carol. Thank you for joining me in this episode. Certainly, we all want success, but even more, there's a desire for significance that I believe God put within each one of us. We at Dr. Carol Ministries are about that. We're all about helping people experience lasting transformation in the areas of their lives and relationships where they really struggle, the kind of transformation that Jesus made available to all of us, but that so many struggle to actually experience. I don't think there's any area of life that has a greater impact on our sense of well-being than the quality of our closest personal relationships. That's why that is such a big focus of what we do at Dr. Carol Ministries. If you are watching or listening to this when it's first released, today is Giving Tuesday. It's the Tuesday right after Thanksgiving in the United States. But Giving Tuesday has become a movement around the world. First started in 2012, so now a decade. Giving Tuesday has become the largest day of generosity around the world. I want to invite you to be part of this movement. For those of you who have been supporting Dr. Carol Ministries, I want to say thank you. For those of you who may not yet have become part of our supportive family, I want to invite you to do just that. And in talking about this, I want to share some stories of significance. I want to share some lives of people who have been changed through what God has blessed us at Dr. Carol Ministries to be able to do, and that your support makes possible. You know, we have just passed Thanksgiving here in the United States, and the number one thing at the top of my gratitude list is I am grateful for you. Without you, we wouldn't be here. There'd be no reason for me to do any of this. You know, the podcast or the videos or the courses or the written articles or anything. It's because of you. And those of you who God has invited to support us, thank you. It's because of you that all the lives who are transformed through this ministry, it's because of you that that's possible. So to share a few of the stories of significance. One of the things that Dr. Carol Ministries was privileged to do this year is release the course, Defeat Your Fear and Anxiety. Mental wellness has become such an important topic. Mental health has become such an increasing problem, perhaps especially in the last 2 or 3 years with the COVID-19 pandemic. But with all that's going on in our world, fear, anxiety, huge issue. The good news is that today we know so much about what can retrain your brain. You don't have to stay stuck. I experienced that myself. And in this Defeat Your Fear and Anxiety course, we put in here the things that help people retrain their brain and to learn how to defeat fear and anxiety. And just some of the joy that can come from doing that. One of the ladies who went through this had been struggling with so much overwhelm and anxiety for many, many years. But after doing this Defeat Your Fear and Anxiety, she said this, "When I feel anxious now, I'm doing what you've taught. And I even taught it to my daughter. It really works. I feel so much more grounded. And the way of praying that you've taught puts my mind in the right place. It helps me see how irrelevant all the other swirling thoughts are." Can't you see the kind of significance that this made in her life and then in her daughter's life, for her whole family? Thank you. Something else that Dr. Carol Ministries was privileged to do this year is the Fully Alive Marriage course. And there's an often quoted statistic that even in the Christian church, 50% of marriages end in divorce. A little hard to actually validate that statistic, but whatever the number is, it's too large. That doesn't even count the huge numbers of marriages where there is no joy. God intended marriage to be life-giving. And there are many marriages where it's just misery and there's no life at all. This Fully Alive Marriage course brought in the tools to teach husbands and wives the things that they never learned, that nobody ever taught them about loving well and building a marriage that's resilient and what it takes. This Fully Alive Marriage course has changed people's lives, the husbands and the wives who have gone through this. What a difference. Gary was one of the husbands who went through this course. He had felt his wife pulling away from him for quite some time, for years in fact, but he didn't know what to do about it. He couldn't understand any steps that he could take, and he was frustrated and sad and just kind of feeling hopeless. Well, he came and did Fully Alive Marriage, and then he said this: "This has helped me right-size the issues in our marriage. It's helped me focus on what I can do. You provide ways to address our different needs, responsibilities, desires, and expectations, some real hope, and some things that Gary and his wife can do to bring some life to their marriage." What a significant difference. Another couple, Linda and her husband, they have been trying all kinds of places to try and find help for their miserable marriage. And frankly, they were pretty discouraged. But coming to Fully Alive Marriage, Jenny said this, and this is just, this really blessed me. She said, "We've done counseling with at least 4 different counselors. This is the best that we've experienced. You tell us how to pray too, actual words. You bring God into everything in a practical and helpful way. You validate what I feel and show us what to do next." What a significant difference for Jenny and her husband. These are the kinds of differences that we are blessed to make and that you make possible. Thank you. Another couple, Grace and Andy. They've been married 30 years. Grace and Andy are both Christians. Grace had been a Christian since childhood. Andy became a Christian about 10 years into their marriage, but there was no goodness between them. No violence, but no life. Andy ended up having an emotional affair. Grace was eaten up with bitterness and resentment and deep walls in her heart. It was just, things were going from bad to worse. When they were first married, they had very little financial resources, and Grace had never had a wedding ring. Now that they were more financially stable, she would periodically bring it up to Andy, but he would respond, "Well, you're not worth a wedding ring. Why would I want to do that for you?" And that just hurt her heart deeply. Her adult son told Grace, "Mom, if you divorce him, it's okay. You don't deserve to be treated like this." Well, over the past year, God has done a beautiful work in Grace's heart and Andy's heart. We were privileged to come alongside them and provide some help and resources, and everything has changed. Grace's heart and Andy's heart have become warm and close. God has been the glue bringing them together. Grace is getting the wedding ring that she never had. And she said this: "After 30 years of a broken marriage, we are now experiencing real validation and forgiveness, and we're planning the wedding we never had." Can you believe it? 30 years ago, again, they had very little resources, and although they were legally married, they never actually had a wedding. They are planning a wedding now. Oh, what kind of a significant transformation in their lives. That's what God makes possible, and it's what you make possible. Thank you. And one last story. Scott, he reached out to us, and this was just night and day. When talking with Scott, he said, "If it wasn't for you and your material, I believe 37 years of our marriage would have been down the drain. It's been a lifeline for us. We keep talking about this all the time. Scott's marriage saved. Grace and Andy's marriage saved. The other marriages that we talked about in Fully Alive Marriage saved. People's lives transformed. A significant difference. And you make that possible. I am inviting you to partner with us. Remember, this is Giving Tuesday. If you are watching this when it first comes out, this is Giving Tuesday. And I am asking you right now to go to drcarolministries.com/give/GIVE. drcarolministries.com/give. If you're watching this, the link is right under this video. If you're listening, the link is in the show notes. Make a financial gift. Ask God what He would have you give. Ask the Lord to speak to you. And whatever He asks, I am asking you to give that now. drcarolministries.com/give. Any amount makes a difference. You can be part of making a significant difference in the lives of men and women and couples, just like I shared with you today. If you have given, I thank you. And give again. Make your gift recurring. When you go to drcarolministries.com/give, there is a button you can click that says Make My Gift Recurring. And I invite you to do that. Those of you who do make your gift recurring, it's such a blessing to us. We know we can count on that every month as a bedrock, as a foundation. That is so helpful. But whatever you can do, I ask you to do it today. If you're watching this later, it's after Giving Tuesday, do it anyway. Do it now before the end of the year. Make this your year-end gift to Dr. Carol Ministries. I know that God will bless you as a result. I know that men and women, just like Jenny and Gary and Beth and Grace and Andy and Scott, just like these people I shared with you about today, more people can have their lives transformed. That's the kind of significant difference you can make through your giving today to Dr. Carol Ministries. Thank you. drcarolministries.com/give. I pray that God richly bless you. May your life overflow with the sense of His presence and with the joy of knowing that you are making a difference. And until next time, may God be with you.